Hello, everyone. This is the most magnificent bird, Beak, speaking to you today. And in today's video, I'm back at it with another character review. And this character review will be on Gold Mythic Jiang. Now, I know I'm a little late on this character review, but thanks to CRW this weekend, I wasn't able to get to it until now. And before we get started, I hope all of you are doing good and staying safe out there. I'm doing good. I'm doing alright, and I'm staying safe for the most part. And yeah, let's go ahead and get this out of the way, and let's not waste any more time, shall we? Jiang, Typhoon. His trait is strong, his role is control, and his allegiance is a member of the Typhoon allegiance. Now let's take a look at his stats. His attack stat is 22,959. His HP is also 22,959. And his defense is 11,480. Now let's take a look at his adrenaline rush. 2 sides. Recharge rate. The recharge rate is 55 AP, so a little bit faster than most gold mythics. A random teammate gets 75% attack for each living teammate for 2 turns. A line of enemies gets 75% heal reduction for 2 turns, plus 25% if the primary target is of the medic role. Deal 1 damage to self. Okay, let me just say this now. The last part, him dealing 1 damage to himself, I don't understand that. Like, why is he dealing only 1? I know it's only 1 damage, but, like, is that going to activate something in his kit? I have no idea, but as we go along, I don't know, dealing 1 damage to self, I don't know, that's kind of weird. I'm not sure. I don't know, I guess we'll find out. But I just wanted to say that and get that out of the way first. Now, a random teammate getting 75% attack for each living teammate for 2 turns. Now, that could be, let's see, for 5. Let's just say if that's 5, so that's going to be what? Well over 200 attack if all 5 teammates are still up. So, depending on the team, since he's a strong tune, it seems like he's, it seems like building a strong team around him might be the best possible outcome to get the most out of Jiang. But we will definitely see for sure. But, a random teammate getting 75% attack for each living teammate for 2 turns, that's actually, it's not OP, it's not bad either. I think it's good, depending on the team that you set up around Jiang. That could definitely be really good, but the only negative part about it is it goes to a random teammate. How it could have been better is, what if all teammates would have gotten that 75% attack? That instantly would have been a lot better. Let's just say if you have unhinged Morgan on the team and he gets that 75% attack, I'm just saying, Morgan's not going to be able to use that 75% attack plus more because he's a defensive revive tune. So I'm just using that as a negative, but if it goes on to a damage dealer, that will be good. Plus, a line of enemies gets 75% heal reduction for 2 turns, plus another 25% if the primary target is of the medic role. That'll be really good, honestly. So potentially you're getting 100% heal reduction only if the target is a medic. But there are other toons out there that are guaranteed to give out 100% heal reduction, no matter if the toon is a damage dealer, a tank, it doesn't matter. So that's kind of a mixed aspect of Jiang, but it's not necessarily bad. I would say it's more mixed than negative. And then the deal 1 damage to self. I don't know. I'm not sure how that fits in just yet, but let's see if we can find out if it fits in anywhere by taking a look at his signature move. Positive Power. The initial cooldown is turn 1, 0 turns for the cooldown, so you can use this potentially every turn. That's a positive. And number of uses unlimited. 2 random teammates get elusive for 3 turns and 100% taunt resistance for 2 turns. Deal 20% of this fighter's living team's total attack stat as damage to an enemy. Deal 1 damage to self. There's that deal 1 damage to self once again, and it's on the Adrenaline Rush, and the signature move is something in his, maybe not his specialist skill, but maybe his mythic abilities, where that damage to, 1 damage to self, maybe that'll help something in his kit. I don't know. I'm not seeing anything, or maybe it's something on his weapon. We will definitely find out, but okay. 2 random teammates getting elusive for 3 turns, plus 100% taunt resistance for 2 turns. I do like that, so that's pretty good. And what makes this signature move probably a little bit better than it normally would be is there's no cooldown, so you can potentially be using his signature move every single turn if he's not dazed. That would be about the only thing that would stop it. Him being stunned and dazed, pretty much. Those are the only 2 things that would stop him from using his signature move. So the 2 random teammates getting elusive, and plus they would be getting 100% taunt resistance. That's pretty good, honestly. That is very good. Especially right now, taunt resistance, I feel like, is heavily needed. So that's pretty good. Plus, he's going to be dealing 20% of this fighter's living team's total attack stat as damage to an enemy. And depending on what type of team you have around him, if it's mostly a strong attack team, that potentially will be a lot of damage, and maybe, just maybe, that could one-shot an enemy. So the potential for that is, I think, pretty good. Plus, he's dealing 1 damage to himself. Again, I don't know. That's kind of, I don't know if that's supposed to be some kind of meme or some kind of joke or not. I don't know, but I guess we'll find out. So let's take a look at his mythic abilities. Precision. Enemy resistance are 40% lower against this fighter. You absolutely want to level up precision on all of your control toons if you have the ability. It will only make them that much more useful, so go ahead and level that one up. Prime Focus. At the start of each wave, 100% chance this fighter gets focus for the rest of combat. Okay, so again, focus, that's really good to have, because you can bypass human shields. Even if you're taunted, you can still attack And I believe Confuse also works with the focus, so you can bypass human shields. You don't have to worry about being taunted necessarily, and I'm pretty sure it works with Confuse as well. So the fact that at the start of each wave he'll have a 100% chance he will get focus for the rest of combat, that's actually pretty good. Except, here's the thing about that. So far, I'm not seeing him having any attack abilities himself. Honestly, I'm seeing him way more as a defensive toon than I am a damage dealer. So, with that, I don't know, I'm conflicted. Focus is good, but he's not really dealing damage anywhere yet that I can see. He seems more like a controlled defensive toon. I don't know. So I would definitely think about it. If you think he has attack potential, which I personally don't see any, but having focus for the rest of combat is not a bad thing at all. It's just they're putting that on more of a defensive control toon. So I don't know. I'm kind of mixed on that. Continuity. When this fighter gets Guardian Shield, 100% chance one other teammate gets focus for 2 turns and Guardian Shield. Okay, so this is pretty good. So Jiang, when he gets Guardian Shield, there's 100% chance that one other teammate will not only get focus, but also get a Guardian Shield. And that does kind of, spoiler alert, there's something involving Guardian Shield with his specialist skill, which we will get to. But yeah, continuity, I think it is a pretty decent one, because it's not only, it's not only helping Jiang, but it's part of the control, the control in his kit that's helping out another teammate. So continuity, I think, is a little bit better than prime focus because it's helping out a teammate. So continuity, I would go ahead and level that one up. Because it's part of his control in his kit. Conversation. When this fighter gets Guardian Shield, an equal chance a random enemy gets either minus 40% defense for 2 turns or double that amount for 1 turn. Okay, so this one seems like kind of like a gamble, like as if you're going to the casino type of deal here. Conversation. When he gets a Guardian Shield, an equal chance that a random enemy will either get minus 40% defense for 2 turns, or potentially the enemy will get minus 80% defense for 1 turn. I don't know if this one is all that important. I mean, maybe it could be down the road, but right now, I don't think it's a number 1 priority to level that one up, because you're either only going to get minus 40% defense for 2 turns or minus 80% defense for 1 turn. So maybe somebody out there will think it's important and decide to level it up right away, and that's totally fine. You can absolutely do what you want, but right now, I don't know if it's like the number 1 important one to level up. I think continuity is probably a little bit better, because he is helping out a potential teammate. Even if it's only 1 teammate, that teammate would be getting focus and then a Guardian Shield, so... And that would happen every time he gets a Guardian Shield. So, continuity, if you want to take advantage of his specialist skill, all of his mythic abilities would be pretty important with that. We're going to go ahead and get into that right now. Sentinel. At the start of combat and every turn, defensive and offensive turn, this fighter gets a Guardian Shield. So there you go. I gotta be honest, I really think the specialist skill, I think it's really good, but I don't know, I think they put it on a mid-tune. I don't know, is that a hot take? I think Jiang is not, I don't think he's terrible, I think he's just mid. He has parts of his kit that the only, like, I think the specialist skill is probably the best thing I like about him. And then his signature move, because of the taunt resistance. Those are the top two things I only really like about Jiang. Everything else is either good or mixed or negative. I just don't see why he's a promo toon, other than for the fact of the new specialist skill. I think legit that's the only reason he's a promo toon, because Jiang could have easily been a free-to-play event toon, but because of the new specialist skill, you know, they Scopely want to make money from that new specialist skill. So perhaps in the future, if they come out with Sentinel again, maybe they'll put it on a better tune. I think Jiang I think he's a mid-tune at best. But I really like the specialist skill and his signature move. Let's go ahead and take a look at his weapon. Jiang's Savage Bone Spear. 45% attack. A huge bonus to AP when attacking, improved defense plus attack down. When being attacked, a 60% chance to cause minus 35% defense and minus 35% attack to the attacker for their next 2 turns. Improved strong attacks. At the start of each turn, all other teammates get 15% attack for each strong teammate on the team for 1 turn. Okay, so this is why I was saying it seemed like they were building Jiang to be a support toon. I mean, he is a control toon, but it seemed like they were building him up to be a support toon for strong damage dealers. And here's the proof on his weapon. Okay, so I really like the look of his weapon. And I do think the character does look cool. And I like the look of his weapon. But other than improved strong attacks, other than that, his weapon is not all that impressive. I mean, not as far as what it looks like, but the 45% attack, really? Like, seriously? He has no attack abilities. Like, honestly, I would definitely swap that attack out 100%. I would definitely do defense or HP. That way you can keep him alive. Like, where's he doing damage at? I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure. So tell me, where's he doing damage at? I see nowhere where he's, maybe except the deal 20%, deal 20% of this fighter's living team's total attack stat, but that's for the whole team. That doesn't count for only Jiang, so even if you were to lower his attack, you would still do a decent amount of attack damage with other strong damage dealers. So, other than that, he doesn't really have any attack potential. He is 100% a defensive control toon who has attack. I don't know why, but he does. The only thing I would do differently about this weapon, I would definitely swap that attack out for either defense or HP. The third slot, I mean, if you want to keep the attack on there, I don't know. I'm not really impressed by the third slot. The fourth slot is really good, and only really good specifically if you're planning on building a strong team around him that are full of damage dealers. That's the only use you're gonna get out of this tune. Other than the look of his weapon and the fourth slot on his weapon is not that impressive. It's really not. I don't have a lot to say about his weapon. And this guy has no attack potential whatsoever. Except the 20%, but that 20% is not only coming from Jiang, it's coming from the whole team, and even without Jiang having attack on his weapon, you can still do some very nice damage. He's a very confusing tune, and like I said, I like the look on him. I do think he looks kind of cool, but they kind of misclassed Jiang a little bit. They got him having attack when he needs defense more than attack. So I would probably work more so on the defense than I would the attack. That way you can keep him alive. That way he can help out strong damage dealers, because he's only going to be good for that specific niche. If you try to put him in a team with tough, fast, alert, burn, it's not going to work. He's only going to work surrounded by strong damage dealers, and there are quite a few strong damage dealers out there now that I think if they were paired together in a team, they could work. They honestly could. But will I be pulling for this tune? No, I'm not going to be pulling for this tune, only because I'm short on the tokens. Plus, I'm not planning on building an all-strong team anyway, so it would be a waste of pulls for me. But if you are planning on pulling for him, I will say good luck to you, and hopefully you get some enjoyment out of him. And you'll have to let me know, if you do pull for him, you'll have to let me know how he's actually working out as a potential attack team tune, even though he's classified as control, and he's clearly defensive. But you'll have to let me know. I'm kind of interested to see how he's gonna work as a potential attack tune, especially that attack on his weapon. And yeah, that's all I got for you guys for today. What are your thoughts on Gold Mythic Jiang? Have you pulled for him? And if you have, are you enjoying him? Is he as good as he's hyped up to be? Or is he not as good as I think he is? Or are you just not going to be able to pull for him? Let me know, and do you want to pull for him? Yeah. And whatever else your thoughts are on him, let me know down in the comments. I want to thank each and every one of you for stopping by and for your continued support. Or if you're new, welcome in for the first time. All of you are very awesome, and I thank you again. And don't forget to hit the bell and switch on all notifications so you know the second I upload to YouTube. I am Beak, and I'm gonna go fly away back to my nest. Until next time, bye guys.